Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Sean Lutz coming to you from my home studio here in Dallas, Texas. Today is December 14th, 2025. This is going to be episode number 28 from Cedar Light Sports, Detroit Red Wings NHL update. Let's just jump right into it, folks. It's kind of what we do around here. Anyway, last night, Detroit on the lengthy West Coast road trip, sixth game of the six-game road trip here in Chicago, squaring off against the Blackhawks in a nice original six matchup, uh, seeing how we're going to fare. It's the last one before we're heading back into the back home in Detroit to square off against the New York Islanders on Tuesday. But anyway, let's just jump right into the action here. We got off to a great start, and it's great to see on the road trip, especially coming off a loss like that, having the win streak come to end. But you know what? Streaks are come to end, and you start new ones, and that's what we're going to do. Right off the bat, 55 seconds in, Alex DeBrincat, bam-o, man, gives Detroit a 1-0 lead early. That's the kind of start that you love to see about your boys. They came out ready to rock. And I mean, when you're looking at the first 5 minutes here, that's that's 55 seconds into the game, and we're already on the board. But it gets even better, folks. 4:35 mark, you got Patrick Kane, Showtime, in front of where he played most of his career in Chicago. Bam, gets on the board. He scores gets Detroit to 2-0 lead there. He's got two more goals to go to get to 500. That was his 498th goal for Showtime. But anyway, for the remainder of the period, it was, Chicago started to press us a little bit, but Gibson made some pretty decent saves. We looked pretty good. We played some decent hockey, but nonetheless, we held on, and it was 2-0 at the end of one. So heading on into the second period of play, where Detroit's Finney gets on the board late at 14:23 mark, giving Detroit the 3-0 lead. The worst lead in hockey, folks. But that is what it is. But for that second period of play, I mean, Detroit played pretty well. Chicago started picking it up. They had some power play opportunities, and the thing that was bugging me a lot of other times and I've been noticing it on our PK, is we're not clearing the zone when we can. I mean, there was like 2 or 3 different times where we had the puck and we just couldn't get it out the zone. We either flung it around the boards or we didn't clear it out hard enough, and then they regained possession. And we can't keep letting offenses teams re-rack like that on the power play, or they're going to burn you. But anyway, that was a 3-0 lead, and it's good to get Finney back going at the 14:23 mark. Later in that period, Larkin had a breakaway, man. A clean-cut breakaway. Larkin, come on, let's end that 5-hole shit right now. That move, everybody's onto it. I hate that DEC 5-hole. Okay, if you're going to go 5-hole, shoot it in the 5-hole, okay? You got a good shot. Forget the DEC. Everybody's onto that shit. Shoot the puck or do something else different. It's starting to look silly. That and a Harley kick. But Lark, we want to see you finish on those breakaways, man. Anyway, but that was at the end of two. It was 3-0, and then heading into the third period, it was the same sort of stuff, man. We were kind of leaky in the turnovers, and but nonetheless, we played some pretty decent hockey. Great road game by our boys, and DeBrincat sealed the empty netter at 16-14 because Chicago, they were getting their asses sort of handed to them 3-0. You got five, most teams are going to pull their niner with 5 minutes in the third, and that's roughly what they did. But anyway, DeBrincat seals the deal with the second of the night at 4-0, and that was our final where we remained. It was a great road victory for our Detroit Red Wings. Another original six matchup, and winning that on the road against Chicago was huge. It's going to be good for us coming into Detroit, playing for a home team here, home crowd, and wrapping up this year we're gonna go. I'm gonna go by the indication mark at the end of the year, at the end of December here before the year. This is gonna be my like Thanksgiving indicator of where we're gonna be come the spring. But it's until we start seeing separation in the standings, it's gonna be tight as you know what. But anyway, let's just move on here and let's look at the rest of the league. It was a pretty decent night of action, and a lot of implications and a lot of shuffling in the standings. Um, but let's just look at the results real quick. You had New Jersey over Anaheim 4-1, Minnesota over Ottawa 3-2, San Jose over Pittsburgh 6-5 in overtime. And note that that is a parity point for Pittsburgh. Then you had the New York Islanders over Tampa Bay 3-2 in a shootout. That's a parity point for Tampa Bay. You had Edmonton 6-3 over Toronto, Las Vegas 3-2 over Columbus, New York Rangers 5-4 over Montreal in overtime. Give Montreal that parity point. It's an overtime. Then you had Carolina over Philadelphia 4-3 in the shootout. Hand Philadelphia that parity point. Then you had Winnipeg over Washington 5-1. Florida blanked my Dallas Stars 4-0. Colorado beat Nashville 4-2, and Calgary beat LA 2-1. LA gets that parity point. Now let's just go ahead and move on, and let's look at the schedule for today. It's a Sunday. It's not a lot of actions, but it's not too bad. You're going to have Vancouver at New Jersey at 12:30 Eastern. This is going to be on the NHL Network. Then you're going to have Utah at Pittsburgh at 3 Eastern, Philadelphia at Carolina at 5, Boston at Minnesota at 6, Edmonton at Montreal at 7, and Buffalo at Seattle at 8 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. As I mentioned, our next game is going to be Tuesday night against the New York Islanders. Islanders are a pretty tough team. They're pretty strong. They're talented. They're young. They make mistakes, but they don't care. They're sort of like us, but they can do some damage, and they're fun to watch. But they're nerve-wracking at the same time. But anyway, let's just move right on here. And speaking of the standings, let's look at how that victory's fared for us with Detroit last night. That moved us into the Atlantic. It moved us into the second place spot there, which is looking pretty. And then, as you can see, that's what you want. You want one of these top 3 slots. And then when we get further and we look here at the wild card here in a sec, we can forget about all that. Let's just get one of these top 3 slots. But anyway, so look at us in the East. So we moved in a second into the Atlantic. Now this is East, and we dropped down a little bit to the 5th in the Eastern Conference, but we're still sitting pretty here. But as you can see, it's still tight as you know what. And then moving on and looking into the wild card, and this is where it matters. At the top there, that's what I was saying, those top 3 slots, that's what you want. You don't have to worry so much on the bottom, but the top 3 is what you want. That's where we're at, and we don't want to worry about where you're looking at down there at the bottom at the wild card. It's going to be too tight come the end. If you're in one of the top 3 slots, I want 1 or 2, because then you don't got to worry about somebody creeping in at the end there. But let's just play this out. It's going to be an exciting rest of the season, especially how it's going to fare out after the Olympics. I love international play and I love the Olympics, but honestly, I would rather not see NHL players playing that. The league, there was just something special about international play when it's just when it's the amateur kids. And then this NHL stuff, it just takes too much time out of the league. And then you're going to have all these players, that are going to be either taking time off before the Olympics, so because they're not hurt, they want to play for their country. And then they're going to be either getting hurt while they're playing for the country and then coming back and now playing for their team. That's just the thing that sort of frustrates me. As much as I love the international play, I mean, I like the World Juniors. I can get off on that. But nonetheless, I didn't mean to get off on that tangent. But let's just move on and quickly. I just wanted to go through the stats uh, at this point with these. You had DeBrincat and Kane. He's, getting really hot here. And it turned out DeBrincat is leading the team with 37 points and 18 goals there. Raymond is second with 34. He's climbing up there, over a point per game. You can't, that's excellent right there. Larkin with 33, and then Patrick Kane, Mr. Geezer, he's nearly a point per game. He's 24 games, and he's got 23 points at 37 years old. I can't wait to see him get his 500 goal, get that off his back. But he's starting to light up, and that's going to bear well for us. And the other thing I wanted to point out is to I know a lot of people don't make much of plus minuses, but I do. I like plus minuses. I like goal differentials. I like goals against average. I like good PKs and special teams. But let's just look at the plus minus, and hats off to Moritz Seider. He's really having a pretty breakout year. I mean, I'm old school when it comes to defense. It's great to get points out of them, but I'd rather have less points and then have them positive players in the plus minus. What good is a defenseman if you got 50 points out of the guy and he's a minus 20, right? But anyway, let's look at Morris Seider here. He's 33 games in. He's got 22 points, which is really good. He's getting a lot of assists in points, but he's up there with a plus 12, and that's really good because he's really, I mean, he's squaring off and matching up against the league's top offensive players, and that's what you want to see out of your defensemen. And then even you got in there other guys up there, defense. You have Simon Evanson, which is also positive at a plus 6. And Schrott is even up there at plus 3. So that's what you like to see out of your defense. You don't want to see them minus up there with a whole assload of points. I'd rather see them, help keeping the puck out of the net. And that's what we really need to do, is keep the puck out of the net. And then hats off to Gibson, man. This whole road trip, he just turned the game around, and that's the goaltender getting you up and to get you some wins. A lot of those games we weren't really playing that good, but he made the saves, and more importantly, he made the key saves at the key junctures at hockey games, where if we get scored upon at that juncture, the whole momentum and complexity of the game could change. But anyway, I'm just going to wrap this up real quick. This is going to be a one-hit wonder, as we say in the studio business, as far as the music goes. But anyway, I just want to say thanks for watching. Be kind and nice to each other. See the light, and I'll catch you on the next one.